Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in to Near Disney. It's the Wednesday show where us local panel of real estate experts get together for a little chat about what's happening in the real estate market and just Central Florida activity in general, fun stuff happening in Orlando, and of course, all things within a 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle. Well, now we've cued the theme song, we'll introduce ourselves real quick as the panel, and you're welcome to introduce yourself as well in the comment section or the chat while we're live. I'm Elijah with Florida in Motion Realty. They call me the Prince of Real Estate here on Near Disney, of course, and joined in the sort of Brady Bunch square beside me.
Hey everyone, I'm Virginia Carlson, also with Florida in Motion Realty, and I am known as Cinderella here on the Dream Team. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Awesome.
And I am Sue Koptiev, also with Florida in Motion Realty, and I am known as Cinderella's, as Sleeping Beauty's Aurora. Sorry about that. And maybe I'm a little sleepy tonight. Something like that. But we, yes, like Virginia said, we definitely are so happy you've joined us tonight. Thank you.
Now, I know we're called Near Disney, but of course we do like to cover a broad variety of topics for the other parks in our area as well. Fun stuff going down at Universal Studios with their Halloween Horror Nights. They've done it every year for decades now. And basically, Virginia, you brought up kind of what's special, what's worth seeing. 10 new original houses and scare zones with some photos that we can pull up for reference here.
Yeah, so this year marks the 34th Halloween Horror Nights at Universal. Wow. And it kicked off last week and it goes through November 2nd. So you have plenty of time to go check out all of the new houses and scare zones and food and merchandise and all that kind of stuff. So they have some new houses this year, and they include a Five Nights at Freddy's house. And
that's like that video game where it simulates the like a haunted Chuck E. Cheese where those creepy animatronics come to life.
The animatronics are so creepy, definitely.
Yeah, Chuck E. Cheese actually got rid of those, and some people miss them, but
I remember those from when I was a kid. And they didn't scare me, but like I can see how they can be kind of on the fence there with the fear factor there, even for little kids. So then we also have the horrors of Wyatt 6, a Terrifier house, Jason universe, and then Fallout. Wow. And then there's lots of different stuff like the Monsters of the North and Hunt Dolls, Let's Play Dead. So scary dolls, those are always terrifying.
Oh my gosh.
And then beyond the houses are scare zones. The Cat Lady of Crooked Lane, some Mutations, Toxic 20s, Masquerade Dance with Death, and the Origins of Horror. So then we can and you can see by the pictures, they all look quite terrifying and realistic.
Mm-hmm. But it's very good pageantry. The set design and the decor is top notch. I mean, it's like you're going into a Fallout vault. This would be one of the less scary ones, just based on a video game. But So there's various kinds of intensity for the experiences for how gruesome or scary or kind of more actiony they could be by contrast. So you could get some guidance on that. And then if you don't want to actually go into these spooky confined spaces, there are those like scare zones you talked about.
Right.
And they're limited, so they can't follow you all the way out. There are some places you are safe to go enjoy some snacks or just kind of lounge and hang out or go watch some live entertainment or something.
Yeah, and if you don't really want to go into the houses or wait in the line for the houses, because some of them, I guess, can be pretty long, but they definitely have some creepy themed foods and little bites to eat. Everything is probably decorated and decked out to really get with the theme of Halloween and scary. And then, of course, there's a ton of merchandise that you can buy. And I just think this year's Halloween Horror Nights is probably going to top, the year before. I think that's always their goal, is to just make it more intense and
Yeah.
just,
Yeah, the
enjoyable
production
for
gets
all
higher and higher.
the horror
My
enthusiasts.
my sister's already gone like 3 times, and
Oh
it's
my
not even
gosh, are you
October
kidding?
yet.
Oh
So
wow.
Yeah,
she's
if
utilizing.
you're gonna go more than once, if you really love it, it definitely makes sense to buy the like what they call like the season's pass for the Halloween Horror Nights. I think it's only like $50 more than the one time ticket, and you can go as many times as you want in the 2 months. So
Yeah, there's some
you're-
value.
That's
There's
not a
some
bad
value.
idea.
yeah, I mean, if you're an enthusiast, why not? Yeah.
You mentioned
But-
the dolls. That just what I shuddered about is, I think one of the scariest rooms you could create for Halloween in any of those is just to line
Yeah.
every wall with a ceramic doll with the
Yeah.
the dead faces. And I can tell you right now, I know a lot of people who wouldn't even cross the threshold to go into that room because that's one thing that
Yeah.
creeps them out.
Well, say all of us are
Yeah.
real estate experts. We are realtors who work in the Central Florida area, and sometimes we do encounter like home decor that can borderline on the creepy. That you've just lived with it or you're endeared to it. You don't really see, so it might be something where we could give you some of that guidance from like third party perspective, like how the vibe is in your home, and so.
Yeah, we
That's
have been
good.
in a house.
That's good.
Elijah, I think you and I were in a house recently that had a lot of dolls.
Yep,
can't
somebody had a
remember, it
really
was-
big doll collection up and
Yeah.
downstairs in the home, and
They were
it
kind of
was
just everywhere.
a bit
Mhm.
perhaps got to the point of unsettling, but it was such a beautiful home, so it's
Yeah,
there's
right.
there's real people who love dolls,
They
and
do. They do. You gotta
it's just,
love them.
just keep in mind that some people may not when you're showing your home. And Becky, who's watching, says that sounds too scary for me. Have fun. Yeah, Halloween Horror Nights is, but you might like Mickey's Not So Scary instead, which is kind of more of the cutesy Halloween that Disney does on its side. But a lot of people, they want to know like what are the inside of these cool new attractions or the scare houses look like, and that is a little bit of an inside look. I'm glad they shared some photos there.
Yeah.
On another side, still kind of Universal, I saw this interesting article from the Orlando Business Journal that says the Universal CEO hints at potential cruise line venture amid industry growth. So we all know that, like, by the Florida ports, a lot of people, especially Kim Hawk, the fairy godmother of real estate, herself has done videos on this channel touring like cruises, but for the Disney side, but Universal has a lot of intellectual property as well, and that is interesting that they're kind of exploring their own answer to what Disney offers. Basically, global cruise passenger numbers projected to reach 37 million in 2025, and these intellectual properties could create immersive onboard experiences for Universal. And so basically on September 3rd meeting, they discussed the success of Epic Universe. I've been there myself. We talked about how fun that is. And it just sounds like they're always looking at every near, mid, and long-term opportunity to drive the business. And it looks like the cruise line timing could be ideal with how that is growing right now, when we saw a dip in it during those pandemic eras, of course. And so basically, we know like their Universal IP. We were kind of joking about it while we were prepping the show. It's like, Jurassic Park dinosaurs on a boat, perhaps. Those guys are at Universal. But of course, Minions, much cuter, more of an answer to that like Mickey Mouse kind of warm-hearted fun that you see on Disney. And of course, the Harry Potter experiences. Universal has 3 different Harry Potter parks, and that could be really fun to see on boat with all your Hogwarts house and stuff. So it's something that we'll definitely keep an eye on. It's cool to see that they are talking about it. They have parks set up all across the world, and according to that CEO, it makes a lot of sense. But we'll definitely love to hear that conversation. I'll take any excuse to get out on the sea there. And of course, with the Bright Line and all of the new opportunities that let you travel up and down the length of our state of Florida, it could just be easier to get off to one of these kinds of cruises.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we'll definitely have to keep an eye on that one.
Yeah, Universal or Disney.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So speaking of bringing things back to the real estate market, Virginia, you had pulled up this article here about 5 steps buyers don't want to skip, even in a hot market. So while we're waiting for our cruise vacation, we can just kind of give our more land-based dwelling on home.
Yeah. Well, Florida is still a very hot market, and so we have some tips for finding the best real estate deals and helping you get to a smooth closing. So let's dive into this. Number one, and I think this one actually is a really good point, to view properties in person. A lot of the times, and initially we look at stuff online, and that's a great way to kind of pique your interest and decide whether or not you want to move forward with pursuing the property. But seeing things in person definitely makes a big difference, because there might be things that aren't posted online with the photos or description itself, and so it just helps to see something for yourself, and maybe you see it in a different way, a different angle, so it definitely makes a difference to see something in person. I would definitely.
I was just dealing with a home today where
Mhm.
there was under the sink water damage that wasn't noted, and just a cursory look or an initial walkthrough, or obviously the listing photos don't really zoom in inside of those pantry
Yeah.
areas, and so it's just kind of
Right.
a lot of people, they do their diligence. It makes a lot of sense to get that in-person view.
Yeah, definitely. And then furthermore, when you see something in person and you like it, then you obviously you want to go to the next step and have a full inspection and have another set of eyes, a professional, come and inspect what we talked about last week about all the different aspects of a home inspection and how important that is for buyers.
Because you'll see that stain, and then you got to find out, someone's got to shoot their little laser at it and determine,
Yeah,
is
like
it
where did it
active,
come from?
is it moist,
Mhm.
or is it dry and it's a dead issue from a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. And then number two on this list is kind of coming off of number one, where it's just cautioning people to, take care when buying a home remotely, so you don't fall prey to any scams, such as, fake listings or overpriced properties. So you just buying something remotely is a little bit more tricky. So you definitely want someone on the ground who's on your side and working with you to make sure that it's the best deal and the smoothest, you know, interaction you can have. Number three, we're looking at using trusted financial institutions, making necessary for payments. And we always talk about, for escrow, we use title companies that will send you the wire instructions, and that's definitely a secure way of doing things. For online payments and good faith deposits and stuff, you always just want to make sure that you have someone on your side who's looking out and making sure that you know the process here in Florida, because it's different in every state how you make payments, and we just want to make sure that our buyers are following the rules and not getting scammed, and everything goes smoothly for them. Number four, this is a great one. We talk about this all the time, to make sure your finances are in order before you start the process of buying a home. Getting your mortgage pre-approval letter, or your pre-qual letter, or just having proof of funds ready to go so that you can make that strong offer. And then, of course, the one that we like to talk about most, use an experienced real estate agent who understands the market where you want to buy, and they can help you navigate the process of making offers, counter offers. We've talked about that on the show, and just everything that goes into buying the home. And we are definitely here to answer any and all of your questions to make sure that you get to the closing table as smoothly as possible.
Yep. I do want to just comment on number 4 here a little bit that you brought up. That is great. I mean, definitely get pre-qualified, or just definitely understand before you fall in love with a home or with a neighborhood. Just understand the price range that's in there, so that you don't get too disappointed, or because you might have not checked in on the housing market in a while, and you don't realize that, I haven't bought a house since before 2017, 2018, and now it's it's a totally different world. But then, of course, getting pre-qualified is great. to not just know what you can buy, but also sometimes the sellers won't even allow for you to have a showing without
Yeah,
showing at least pre-qual or proof of
Mm-hmm.
funds. And that could be
it's
like
true.
even at like the $1 million, $2 million, price range. Sometimes in my experience, I see people get a little like upset or indignant about being asked to show proof of funds. But when you have a very high-end luxury estate or a really beautiful home or something, you got to clean extensively that day and get out of there and leave, or you work from home or something, you just want to have that good faith shown to you. So it's like, wouldn't really take it personally, like they
Yeah,
don't
it's not
trust
personal.
you, or they think you're lying, or that they think
Hmm.
you're a poor peasant who can't afford it or something. It's just like, kind of think of it from your own, put yourself in their shoes. Would you want
Right.
someone to submit an offer with proof of funds? Would you
Hmm.
want to have someone show that they're qualified before you spend all day preparing your home for them to come see
Exactly.
it? And that's
Exactly.
also, don't I just advise, don't be so offended or taken aback if you get that kind of a request. It is fairly common.
It's pretty standard. Yeah.
Well, the other
You know,
thing that we're starting to see, and I dealt with this past week, is sellers in that higher end range that you were talking about, Elijah. Some of them are now, especially with out of area potential buyers, they're asking
Mhm.
for proof of identity. And
mm,
so, again, don't be put off if you're the buyer. Don't be put off.
Yeah.
Again, like you said, Elijah, if it was you selling a $2, $3, $4 million home, you would want to know that you're dealing with somebody who's really who they say they are.
a
And
lot
Yeah.
of times they're gonna look into you. They're gonna try to,
mhm,
so just
yeah,
can't help it.
exactly.
And a comment here from Becky, say buying is less stressful than selling. Okay. That's a hot take. No, I hope I don't need to sell for a long time. Well, okay. That's feel free to weigh in on that as well in the comment section or the chat if you think buying or selling is more or less stressful. I think that when you're the one giving a lot of money rather than receiving a lot of money, there is
Yeah.
stress on that. And at the closing table, I was just at a closing table today. The buyer does have quite a larger stack of papers to sign than the seller in a
True.
Yeah.
loan situation. So, but
Right.
selling, there's a lot of preparation, and there's a lot of moving out, and there's a lot of just hoping that, especially when you're planning your next destination, because you're doing two things: you're selling and then you're buying your next place. So you've got both of that on your mind. Whereas a buyer is kind of just, well, I mean, they're probably either, if they're coming from a renting situation, maybe they're just buying, but hey, maybe they had to sell too. So I think
Right.
they both have a lot on their checklist. But that's a
Yes, they
really good
do.
discussion topic that you brought up there,
Yeah.
Becky. Thank
Yeah, that
thank you for
is.
watching. So
Mhm.
Sue, you are starting to put us in the festive mode here. It is
Woohoo!
it is
Pumpkin patch
mid-September,
time.
and the sun is starting to go down earlier, I have noticed. And it's starting
Yeah,
to
me
come up
too.
later in the morning. It's like I wake up and it's not quite sunny yet. What's that about? And so that makes me realize it's fall. And that leads me to your article about these pumpkin patches.
Yeah. Now, some of the pumpkin patches are either, if they're not in full swing, they will be very soon. This one at Sunset Walk, the promenade at Sunset Walk, which is basically downtown Margaritaville in Kissimmee, they are starting on Friday the 17th of October and going through the 30th of October. But this is a great one because they have a nightly navigating the mazes, and they've got the dance studios there with specials,
So
and you can do
cool.
it. Yeah, two Halloween performances, 5:45 and 6:45 each night. They do have an RSVP on there, and that is, there's no cost. But
Mhm.
Sunset Walk has always been really good about trying to figure out how many people they should be prepared for, because this
Right.
place is always happening. There's always stuff going on. And so
There
they
is.
want to make sure that all of the restaurants, the businesses have everything they need so that they don't run out of, heaven forbid you are there for pumpkin patch time and corn maze and they run out of margaritas. would be that.
Oh,
So,
I want that.
and as always, it's a pet-friendly event and public. And I'm just going to throw in there, because I have a history with John Deere tractor. And so this was actually helped being put on by the Everglades Tractor Company in South St. Cloud, Florida. But, nightly music, 30 amazing restaurants, and really they are amazing. I think we have now sampled each one of them at least once. And
Yes.
there are several we have favors of. But, hey, and you get your face painted. Adults like that too.
Sometimes.
And
yeah.
sometimes, especially like in that Seinfeld where Elaine's boyfriend Putty was a face painter, right? So he went at the football game.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh
that's
my
right.
gosh, I forgot about that one.
He got a little carried away with his sports fanatics.
All right.
But then, so Virginia, in addition to that, if maybe Sunset Walk isn't your go-to spot for pumpkin patch, there's places all over Central Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if you want to go a little bit farther out, there's a pretty comprehensive list of some great pumpkin patch options. We have Southern Hill Farms, and Southern Hill Farms is known for doing things throughout the year. They have blueberry picking, strawberry, like all those kind of festivities throughout the year. But right now they are doing their pumpkin patch, and they have a corn maze, and they have lots of pumpkins, obviously, apple cider, donuts, all those kind of fun things. And that is located in Claremont, so not too far from us, Southern Hill Farms. The next one is Santa's Farm, and don't let the name fool you. It says Santa, but this is all pumpkins, and they are beginning September 20 on select weekdays, September 27th, running through November 2nd. So the whole season. And these patches are nice that they go past Halloween. And you can get on the 25th and 26th, they're doing trick or treat stations. So if you prefer to have your kids trick or treat kind of like in a more enclosed area, they're doing that for a couple of nights. And that's out in Eustis, Florida. That's Santa's Farm. So they do have tickets for that. So you have to buy tickets before you go. Celebration Pumpkin Patch here every year. We have the Community Presbyterian Church, and they have their pumpkin patch up for the whole month of October. Or actually, Elijah, when did they set it up? Sometime in September, right?
I don't have the exact date, but it would, definitely count on basically all of October. They really, they use that green lawn space right in downtown Celebration, Florida, the town that was built by Disney. Have a lot of fun with that, and it kind of gets more higher production every year with the decorations and the haystacks and the tents and the inflatables and the fun stuff that they put out, in addition to getting pumpkins of various size set out, very centrally located. If you're in our area where our office is, Celebration, Florida, easy, convenient way just to grab some good pumpkins for decor.
It's a great location because it is set up for over a month, and you can, if you're anywhere downtown, you can just walk over to the pumpkin patch, and they've got little mini ones up to like big, huge ones. So there's like pumpkins of every size. It's definitely fun to go to. I know we go every year. And that is, again, in Celebration on Celebration Avenue in Celebration, Florida. And then we have the Painted Oaks Academy, and that's in Orlando. And they are going to have horses for, you can ride horses. And they have pumpkins. This is a ticketed pumpkin patch, so you have to go online and get tickets for this one as well. And then I think the last one we have. Sunset Walk again, the one that Sue was just bringing up.
Yes, Margaritaville area.
So
this is unation.com. Stuff to do, pumpkin patches in Central Florida. If you want to get any more, click this learn more button. And yes, remember, you can paint pumpkins. You don't have to just carve them if that's a little too violent for you. But just know that we all know that Florida is known for other circular orange colored produce are oranges, but
Yes.
this is a fine place to procure pumpkins as well.
Yeah, and
I
they're
thought you
all
were.
over. So no matter where you are in Central Florida, you can find a pumpkin patch that's not too far.
I thought you were going to talk about Epcot when it. Oh my goodness!
How dare you not silence your cell phone for
I
the stream?
did. It's my kid calling from Mexico.
Oh, well.
No, I thought when you said that, I thought you were going to talk about the Epcot ball when all the lights are when they put it all up in orange during
That
Halloween.
too.
So
That too.
that's a
yeah.
big orange sphere. That's the first thing I thought of.
Yes.
So I guess we're coming to the end of the
Cool.
stream here. We're hitting on that 30-minute mark, but I think there was something you wanted to bring up that you requested before the show, Sue.
I did. I asked
Yes.
Elijah and Virginia if they would be willing to, no preparation, no notification of what the answers are, but I wanted to throw, because I know these two are really good at this, throw a couple of, 3 or 4 maybe, questions out to them, trivia questions about Disney movies. And so
Okay.
if you're listening and you know the answer, chime in. But give them a second to answer because we don't want them to get their
Yes.
answers from you. So
is it a contest? Like we're
no,
trying to
I'm
answer
not
first.
I'm not keeping track. So this is one I did not know until I saw this. So who
Okay.
trained Hercules to be a hero?
Philip Tedi's,
He got it.
voiced by
And
Danny
Yeah.
DeVito.
fair. Now that I don't have all that information. This is just one. This is one answer. Elijah's so good. He's like, don't ask me about anything that was after 2012. And I'm thinking, yeah, right. So, and then what is the name of the what is the name of the toy store in Toy Story 2?
Al's Toy Barn.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And Al is voiced by Wayne Knight.
Okay. Awesome.
Okay, I'm sorry, Virginia. He's taking over here. Who was Maui's voice actor in Moana?
This is after 2012 now.
Yeah, I don't know.
Or is
That
it?
one-
I don't even know who's.
Go ahead.
No,
was
I don't
Dwayne-
know. I don't.
It was the Rock. It was Dwayne. The
Oh,
Rock Johnson.
I was like, I wasn't sure what character that was. Okay.
Yeah, I thought it was
the big guy.
girl. Otherwise,
Oh, I knew
if
that
if
was
I
Dwayne
intuited,
Johnson. Yeah.
yeah, if I intuited that.
Okay.
but yeah.
And then one more, and this,
Okay.
Virginia, if you don't know this, then this is good for you to know. What year
Okay.
was the original Cinderella released?
Oh, we were just talking about that. How I had it on
Yeah.
VHS in 1986. So
That's why I said it, because Virginia was telling us how that was the first VHS tape that her parents
I don't
bought.
know, like in the
You're talking about the
1940s. I don't
theatrical.
know.
I'm gonna guess 1952.
You were both close.
I'm gonna guess.
1950.
1950?
Okay, I was
Yeah,
going to say 1947, but yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
1950. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
good job, you guys. That was pretty
Amazing.
good.
Well, you can't
was
spell
fun.
close. Can't spell close without lose. So I can't.
This,
Oh my
there you
goodness.
go.
Oh my gosh.
All right, that was fun,
like it.
Sue.
Yeah, we have
Right.
we've all played trivia at one of the pubs in Celebration that does trivia night, and so we've gotten together, and so you cannot lose if Virginia and Elijah are on your team. I'm just saying, because they're amazing. So
Unless you ask about
Well, the
Moana.
last time we played, we did. That was pretty fun.
it was fun.
Yeah, just
We have to do that again.
All right, guys. Thanks for indulging us in a little
Yeah,
fun there.
sure.
But we are here to talk about all things Central Florida real estate. We
Mhm.
host multiple streams during the week. On Monday, we go over the Celebration Florida real estate market in depth. What's been active, pending, sold, what new listings have come on the market there. On this Wednesday night show, you saw how we have this group to talk about just everything happening in Central Florida. And then on Friday, we take you like with an in-depth video look, oftentimes into a neighborhood or event or something special, like with our Bellavati Studios production goes in and really gets in there and showcases Central Florida in the flesh for you, more than just a discussion panel like this. So if that
Yes.
information brings value for you and entertainment entertainment, please hit the like button and hit the subscribe button. We're on the path to 10,000 subscribers, and it really, every like, every sub helps us get there to bring this to more people. Before we go, our numbers are on the screen. If you have any questions for us about the real estate market, like I said, you don't have to just wait for the chat and the stream. You can we give you our phone numbers here to be a resource for you. And for anyone who's listening on the podcast, we'll just say them right now. Elijah Lewis, Florida Motion Realty, 407-922-0587.
Virginia Carlson with Florida Motion Realty, 407-487-9960.
And I am Sue Koptiev, 407-334-7770.
Awesome. Well, thanks for making this fun, Sue and Virginia. As always, we're going to throw it over to, thank you. Throw it over to Kim Hawkesbury, Godmother of Real Estate, to sign us out. Take care, everyone.
Good night.
Bye.
Make sure that you subscribe and like so that we can continue to give you up-to-date information on all things that are going around the 25-mile radius of Cinderella's castle, because this is truly a magical place to live.